Hello and welcome to Savor the Southwest. Today we are going to make what my husband refers to as dilemma pie. And the dilemma is which comes first, the chicken or the egg. And you're about to find out as we make this. It's a good breakfast dish or it's a dinner dish. We use it when eggs are on special and there's lots of eggs and we have some chicken and time to make up something yummy to eat. So we have chicken cut up into relatively small bite-sized pieces. We have eggs, and I'm going to use just a little bit of fresh herbs here. Preheat your oven to anywhere between 350 and 450. And it depends what else you're baking. Now I'm cutting up a little bit of garlic chives. Oh, remember? I've talked before about garlic chives. They're wonderful. The greens, they're green all year. You use the greens in your cooking and it's a very mild garlicky flavor. And whenever possible, I like to add a little bit of nice green fresh herbs into my cooking as opposed to using the dried stuff out of the cabinet. Now, I also get in a hurry and I use the dried stuff out of the cabinet. We're all human, right? So here we go. We got our herbs ready. Oh, you know, the chicken, the egg, and some cheese. The cheese is the part that really helps make this a good pie. You can use sour cream. You can use ricotta cheese. You can use cottage cheese. Now, it happens to be this was on sale and I had a coupon. So this, let's see, 32 ounces, a quart of ricotta cheese, was like 50 cents. And normally this would be like much more than that, $3, $4. So you can also make your own if you have dairy. There is a way to make ricotta cheese. I've tried to make it and ended up with a very thin sort of cheese, but that happens sometimes. So you want about 2 cups of this. So you can measure it if you want to. For me, I just eyeball the container, knowing that there's 4 cups in here. I had taken out a cup already for another use, so there's about a cup left. There you go. That's how carefully cooks measure. And you know, when you're just starting out, measure everything. It's okay. Give yourself, you know, permission to measure everything. And once you start cooking for a while, you get to eyeballing things. For example, I'm going to say you need a half a teaspoon of salt. So we can get the half a teaspoon and we can measure it out. And what you do is you put it in your palm. And you eyeball it and you kind of remember that's what half a teaspoon looks like. And then next time you're cooking, you don't have to dirty up the spoons because you know that's half a teaspoon. A lot of recipes call for a pinch of salt. I'm going to dump this over here in a little cup I have. That is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's still not a pinch. A pinch is technically an 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Just in case you ever wondered, pinch of salt. So basically it's what you can pinch up in your hand and sprinkle in here. So we have our pinch and we have the rest of the half a teaspoon. Now if you're using a saltier cheese, you use less salt because then it would be overpowering. But salt is necessary. Oh, my oven is ready. Salt is necessary for your body to function. Nerves need the calcium ions and the sodium ions so they can fire. So if you don't have enough salt in your diet, you're going to feel tired and lethargic and unable to move your muscles. So don't skimp on the salt. Well, unless you're on a heart low salt diet. That's another matter. But if you are on a low salt diet and you find yourself lacking energy, talk to your doctor. Okay, so this was oregano and I'm just quickly doing it right here. I'm going to chop this up really fine. The knife I'm using for chopping, some of you have heard this before. It's an ulu. I got it in Alaska. And I like it because you can just rock it back and forth, and it's really easy to chop with. And I tend to maybe cut my fingers a little bit, so I'm grabbing two other knives here to show you. This knife has a very flat blade, and this has a very curved blade. So if you don't happen to have an ulu from Alaska, you can take your curved blade and rock it and cut this way. And notice my fingers are out of the way, and I scoop and chop again. I have learned through time I do not like cutting these. So, knives. Now we are going to add in 6 eggs. And I just recently learned this. You know, you can be cooking for years and years, and then you learn something new. If you crack your egg on a flat surface, you don't tend to get eggs into what you're mixing. If you crack them on the bowl, there's more sharp little pieces that can get in your food. And so now I used to work as a baker, and we do it one-handed. And yeah, I'm doing it on the edge of the bowl. But 2 cups of cheese, 6 eggs. This is great if you've got your own chickens and they're really laying gangbusters. There you have it. Now, I'm making a mess. I will clean it up. I do keep an antiseptic cleaner for right by the cutting board. You saw that. That's always there. So, you know, I got egg goo on here and egg shells and salmonella, I might die. I just clean it up after I use it. You know, you can make a mess if you clean it up. You've heard me say that before too. So, getting out my fork. You could use a whisk, but just mixing this all together. Mixing up my pie. I'm going to use this again, but again, just I'm cleaning up later. Mix it all up. Get my cheese mixed in. Can you guys see that okay? It's lumpy. Don't worry about it. It's not a cake batter. You don't have to have it all smooth and perfect because it's not cake. It's a pie that you're going to eat. And there's my herbs. All the herbs in there. Now, how is this not a quiche? Well, there's no crust to it. Okay. We have a lot of cast iron. I cook in cast iron. I drizzled just a little bit of olive oil in there. You don't need a lot because there's oil in the cheese. Chicken, and you can spread it out if you want to. See? There we go. Ready to roll. Ready to roll. The oven is hot. My egg is mixed up. Oh, so here's the answer to the dilemma. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Well, I did cut up the chicken. No, maybe it's not the answer. I cut the chicken. I scrambled the eggs. Now I'm going to put the two together. Dilemma pie. Okay. Roll it back in there. And I'm mixing it in the bowl. The one time I threw it in the pan and mixed it, I had scraped the bottom a little bit and I had a little bit of stickage. So mix it in the bowl first. You know, I always try to tell you what not to do so you don't make my mistakes. There you have it. And pour your dilemma pie into your cooking vessel. Now, like I said, we love to cook in cast iron. I assume you could just do this in a pie pan. It'd have to be a big one. You could do this in a baking dish and take it like to a potluck, because nobody ever brings meat to potlucks. They always bring chips and things. And I forgot to get out the one other ingredient. I'll be right back. Okay, one other ingredient. Some shredded cheese. This is gonna get on top and get all melty and crunchy and yummy. And now, when you have a big bag of shredded cheese, don't stick your hand down in there, unless you're gonna use it all up at once. But if you stick your hand down in there, your hand has things on it. And I don't care if you just washed them. It still has things under the nails. So you try to just sprinkle it on there. Or I guess you could measure it out. I suppose there's a measurement for this. Probably, I'm going to say I'm going to end up using about a cup of cheese here. And we'll come back with the after shot once it's all baked. And how long? This is another thing where it's about 20 minutes. And we're back with our dilemma pie. Nice and toasty. See how the cheese on top got crispy. And the thing I forgot to tell you is, do not cover it. No cover, because if you put the cover on, the cheese won't benefit from the heat and it won't get crispy. It'll still taste good, it'll still cook, but it won't look as pretty as that. Now, we were thinking of this for breakfast, and afterwards I remembered, oh hey, Southwest, Savor the Southwest. I forgot to tell you that something that's really yummy in them is a half a cup of green chili. And just mix that in when you're mixing your liquids together, your eggs and your chicken. Half a cup of chili, green chili. I like green chilies. I guess you could use hot chilies. Ouch. This is very hot. Remember, the oven is hot. These, some sort of synthetic material. They're really nice because you can handle the heat with them. Okay, so if you don't happen to have some green chilies that you've roasted and everything else, you can cheat and get them out of a can, which is what we did. So it's like one can with your 6 eggs and your 2 cups of cheese. And you make a nice, savory Southwest pie. Now, I call it pie because you cut it kind of like a pie. And this might have gone just a tiny bit too long. It's stuck to the sides a little bit. There we go. There we have it. Lifts right out like a piece of pie. Steaming hot. We're going to put it in here. Too hot to eat. Hot cheese, burn the roof of your mouth, okay? You might have discovered that once from a pizza, right? So these are some nice metal plates that we have, bowls and plates. If you ever come here for company, you get the nice, lovely, hand-blown glass dishes. I don't know if you can see. This was blown by our friends Chet Cohenview Nyler of Country Glass in Marshfield, Vermont. And she carves these pictures in graphite, and then they put the glass in there. And what happens is if you put something that's 450 degrees on a glass dish, you break it. So nice metal dishes. These are also good for camping, you know, because you can throw them in the back of the car and you can rattle around as you go off-road and you won't break your dishes. So dilemma pie, chicken, eggs, and a little time in the oven, and you got yourself a yummy breakfast or dinner, either one. 20 minutes, and just a savory, savory delight. Thanks for watching.